Hey Goobs, it's me and Jeff, aka the person I recommend today for some apparent reasons. So, in today's video, this is going to be quite an interesting, I suppose, topic, but it's more or less of a 101 to help furries, or new furries, or how long you've been in this fandom anyways. It's to how to socialise online with furries safely. I know this is like some 101 how to interact safely online sort of video, but however though, it is quite I think it's something that I might need to, add on this channel, especially with how I haven't really seen many videos of this, and also not only that, I think spreading awareness of this sort of stuff is kind of, I think it's required, and I think it's also required in most fandoms as well. But anyway, I do have this quick disclaimer to add, and that this is not 100% foolproof, right? These methods that I'm presenting to you, these will not 100% guarantee that you're gonna have a safe time, because guess what it is? It's the internet. You don't even know who's who. You don't know what's going on. So you kind of gotta, make sure that you're, I don't know, safe. And it's not always going to be 100%, but it will definitely help you taking these, I guess, guides and methods in, I suppose. But it could also go into other fandoms as well, other groups, anything like online. It's pretty much like a safety online video, but with furries, because I'm trying to mostly relate this to more with the furry fandom, kind of, and mostly because I feel like new furries would deeply appreciate this video so much, and especially ones that don't like the sexual side of the fandom, even though people do kind of say it's like the majority of the fandom. You can work around it. Don't worry. You can. Don't worry. You definitely can work around that shit, because I exist. I work around it all the time, and I'm totally not gonna glaze my own server, but my server's safe for work. It's got no sexual stuff. That like majority of the furry fandom stuff. Nah. We don't have that nasty porn. I don't know, stuff here. It's quite amazing, and it's in the description if you want to have a look and try it out for yourself. I'm not gonna say you're gonna have an amazing experience, because not every member does, because I don't know, it's either like they don't get along with another member or whatever, but just try it out. I mean, it's a safe for work server, and if you don't like the NSFW side of the furry fandom, then you can always use that server, I suppose. Hopefully it helps you, but it's who you are. But anyway, enough glazing on my server. I think we should dive into the video. Okay, let's start off with the most obvious one here, which is quite required if you don't like the, I guess, sexual side of the fandom, is I would recommend looking for safe work spaces in the fandom. Crazy enough, they do exist, and I've been in many of them, and I would mostly recommend using Amino, but I think Amino's quite dead, and I wouldn't recommend it currently right now, but I don't know, like 2 years ago I would have recommended it, but I think nowadays, and I don't mean to fucking glaze my server, but I guess places like, say, like my server, but it isn't just like places like my server, there is other places, don't use sweat, it's also like, if they've got safe for work in the Discord name, then that is probably your best bet. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but they will most likely definitely have no porn stuff in that, hopefully, but I'm not really too certain since I haven't really been adventurous in that sort of aspect, but I would try and look for, safer workspaces online that also, that are safe for safe NSFW, safe for work, and because it just mostly prevents, porn, and it's good for, well, I think it's the best for young furries, so we don't really have that, weird barrier to where we're sending sexual stuff with minors, because that's a bit weird. It is also just good for, like I say, any furry that doesn't want to go into the NSFW side or doesn't like the sexual stuff, then it is better, and it is probably the best looking for a safe work server. Like I say, I don't have many recommendations, I'm afraid. Hello, Editor Jiv here. So, there is something that I can give you, and it's a place called Discord or something. That's kind of where I found those like safe for work servers, and hopefully, just hopefully, you can find your safe for work server there. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. And yeah, don't listen to that dum-dum. That dum-dum's a bit stupid. Other than Amino, like Amino communities, because I'm pretty sure from like a few, they are quite not really into that stuff, if you get what I mean. But I'm not too certain though, because a lot of things could have changed. I've not used Amino in like 2 years, so you never know. But if you do want to check it out, I guess go for it, because that is my best recommendation. But the other recommendation is literally, I guess, looking for a safe for work server, or anything that's a safe for work on it, like in a group chat, etc, etc. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but it is your best bet, and 100% would definitely be your best crowd to go in, because, you know, it's just like everywhere. The second one that I have is toxic furs, or just toxic people in general, if you don't know what that means. Like you know, toxic dickheads, wankers, twats. You know, you get the motto, I suppose. You can tell my channel is very not child friendly, but now that you know that, this is like mostly just like if there's any toxic people that are like, I suppose. You can't really do much about the toxic people, but my best bet is if any toxic people are owners, admins, staff, you know, of like a group chat server, whatever, or like, you know, it's probably best just to leave the group, well, because, you know, they can be quite unpredictable, and most of the time toxic people or toxic furs can be quite power hungry in what they do and think that they're the king of the world, which in my opinion is quite a unemployment thing, and we don't like that, do we now? Because unemployment behaviour is just really miserable and really sad, and just, I don't know, get rid of it. But it is quite a terrible thing to come across with toxic furs, because, well, you know, they are very unpredictable. But it's not just like in the FURRY fandom though, they can come out of anywhere, so I suppose it can be with any community or fandom, but I wouldn't recommend I won't recommend being a part of a community server group chat. If the server admin's like toxic or anything like that, you know, just get them gone. But anyways, the next one is joining big spaces in, like, you know, like joining bigger servers, or joining, you know, just anything that's got a lot of members in it. Now, I feel like joining bigger servers and group chats, the reason for this is mostly because it'll be more organised and balanced, I feel, and even though, you know, it doesn't really do much for the, you know, safe for work people, but I think it can do. It just depends what their policies and what their rules are. I would recommend also checking them out 100%, just to check if they are a decent server for you, because if they've got a rule that kind of dilates with you, then it's not best staying in that server, if you get what I mean. But it'll just be more like, if it's a bigger server though, it'll most likely be a lot more balanced, and it'll be a lot more active and, you know, social, and it'll also be a lot more prone on kicking and banning, like, you know, users who have done like toxic shit, or just doing bad stuff in general. Like, it can just make the place a lot more safer, most likely. I don't really know much about it, but I do know definitely joining a bigger space would be the best option in this video, mostly just because it'll be more organised. But I would recommend, as a side note, is to check the rules to make sure it's, you know, for you, if you get what I'm saying. Because you don't really know if it is a server for you, because if they don't like, you know, certain jokes that you like, dark humour, then you most likely won't like that server. Or it's like, you know, if they're I have no other examples, I'm sorry, I don't even know, I try to carry on, but yeah, no, like I said, it's just my best option here, most likely, is just looking for bigger spaces. Okay, so for the, is it the third one? Oh no, fourth one is make sure that the group chat or server is alive. Now what I mean by that is it's quite obvious, but it's like if the server's dead or there's no one really interacting with it, it's going to be quite boring, and, you know, there's just going to be nothing to do or nothing to interact with. But it's like, you know, if the server is alive, it does make it pretty sociable and means for more fun activities, doing stuff, meeting friends faster, you know, joining a server that, you know, has a lot of members can have that effect. But if it's not got many members, but don't lose hope if it doesn't have many members though, but if it's not really an active server, you know, then that's not really a good spot to be in. But it does mostly just come down to, if the server is active or not, because if it's not, then I wouldn't recommend going into it because it'll just be a waste of time. Okay, so for the final one is don't be around anyone who's a little freaky. Like, I know this is supposed to be a serious topic, but like, you know, I didn't make this list and I wasn't expecting freaky to be there as a word for it. But what I mean by that is pretty much just people who are quite invidious foes, or as I like to call them, really fucked up or weird people. Now look, I do know that furries do get a lot of this with the stereotype of being freaky, being like PDF file, being a zoophile, whatever. But it is best to avoid them no matter who they are, right? No matter what group or community they're a part of. If you do know that they are that, just don't interact with them or, you know, be around them, because, you know, it's not really bad on your end, but it's also, I don't know. I would say it's concerning, but it's completely up to you, I guess. But my best advice is to definitely avoid people like this. And it is also 110% better to make awareness about people like this, about these weird, disgusting people, I guess, who, I don't know, like Drake and P. Diddy, I guess. But it's, like I say, I do think it is, you know, best to call them out, spread awareness, and also alert staff on the server or the group chat or whatever you're a part of in this. Like, don't create a big deal out of it. If you can justify their, you know, weird, disgusting behaviour, then do report it. But if you don't feel, well, if you're not comfortable with them, it is 100% best blocking the weirdo and just getting rid of them in general. So yeah, no, that is pretty much it of the entire list. Like I said though, I don't really have many servers or anything to recommend to you other than my own, and I know I keep saying that, but like deadass, I really don't. But if anyone in the comments actually has good server suggestions that are like furry like, 100% put them in the comments. I don't really mind it too much, because it's helping new furries, so you know it's doing a good job. Not only just new furries, but people who want to find better experiences. This isn't just about new furries all the time. It can also be about, you know, furries who are trying to find better places than that, who've either come back from the fandom or, you know, are still in the fandom, etc. You know, it can be anything. But anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there is any other suggestions, you know, or any other routes, ways, or how to do it either better, like some of the things I've mentioned, like how to do it better, or like any other new like things to bring up, then I would 100% recommend making a comment of it, and I will most likely make a part 2, and hopefully, if I remember, add your comment to the video, because, you know, you did the work on that one, not me. So yeah, it's best off giving you a pat on the back for helping me out making a part 2 if it ever comes around to it. But it's also just to add more awareness and helping new furries out. But anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, I consider subscribing, because, well, it helps me push more of this content and other content like my tier list videos, for example, since I know you guys really like that. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.